Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, you'll be learning how to make a custom MetaHuman. So if you are a character designer and you want to get into the video game character designing industry, all you have to do is pay attention to this video to the end of the video and you'll learn how to make your customized MetaHumans ready for video games, movies, cinematics, anything you want. I'll be taking you on this tutorial. My name is Moyen Valerian. I am what you would call a visual designer, even though I would prefer to be called a 3D character designer. My skills include 3D character design, graphics design, video editing, and motion graphics. I have at least 2 years worth of experience in character design, 3 to 4 years experience in graphic design, and 1 year experience in video editing. I've spent the last year working with the Your Creative Academy as a 3D design tutor and Gamer Nigeria as a character design tutor. So I'm also the founder of DigiSpikeX Studios and the co-owner of Gotas Studios. While I do have experience with many softwares, the software that I'm most conversant with are Blender, Marvelous Designer, Unreal Engine, Substance Painter, and Substance Staging. I'm also, for my video editing, I use After Effects and Premiere Pro. But in this tutorial, for the purpose of this tutorial, we'll keep it limited to Unreal Engine only. So in this tutorial, you'll be learning how to make a MetaHuman just as this one. You can customize your MetaHuman with custom clothing like this pink jacket and the pink tracksuit with pink sneakers. This is not pink, this is burgundy, with burgundy sneakers. Then we will also be learning how to make the groom. The groom means the hair. So making custom groom that will be simulated or unsimulated depending on how you want it. So this is, by the end of this video, you will learn 3 things: how to create your custom MetaHuman, how to import your custom clothing, and how to import your customized groom. In this first session, what we are learning is what is a MetaHuman, how to create a basic MetaHuman, and how to prepare our meshes for export. As you open up your Unreal Engine, click on Games, select the third person, go to quality preset and change it to scalable. Variant, leave it at none. Rename the project. We will probably rename the project multiple times, but let's give it a name: MetaHuman create custom, MetaHuman custom, then create. So it automatically creates it. This can take a little bit of time, ranging depending on how strong your system is. It can range from a minute to several minutes. So it will be interesting to know that this character that's in my background is actually, I created myself as a MetaHuman. Okay, so this is your 3D interface, and this is your content drawer. This contains all the assets that you will need to create anything you want to create in Unreal Engine. So you click it, you go to content, right click on this empty space and go to, you can see we're looking for MetaHuman here, but you can see there's no MetaHuman. So why is that? You have to come up to your edit tab, click on it, go to plugins and type MetaHuman. Now you're trying to activate your MetaHuman plugin so that you have access to the MetaHuman creator and everything that will allow you to create your MetaHuman. So you click on this MetaHuman creator. This is just a message showing it's a beta version, and it's prone to it's unstable and prone to crashes. So you click yes, but each time you activate a heavy plugin, you have to restart the engine. But before I restart, let me activate other ones that I may need. So MetaHuman Animator and Cortec. So I'll restart. This is something you keep doing periodically. Each time you enable a plugin, or a prompt will come up asking you to restart. That's major plugins. Lighter plugins may not ask you to restart. Okay, so we've restarted. Close your edit window, then come to your content drawer again. Right click on the empty space, and right now you can see the MetaHuman option is available. So you go down to MetaHuman character, rename it. Let's name it a person, the very creative name person, and reload. So this windows keep popping up. You see it multiple times. Most times it's nothing serious. Okay, so first things first, save. Now this is our MetaHuman creator window. This is our custom MetaHuman, and this is the 3D viewport where you see your MetaHuman. This is our tabs, our tools for customizing the MetaHuman, and this is our preview details panel. So let's begin. So these are the presets. These are MetaHuman presets. So we can just select any of the presets and they will appear here. Which one should we select? Let's look for okay, this looks African. I want an African one, so that an African look one. Okay, three looks African. Okay, so we've clicked on it. Okay, so now you can see it. Once you've clicked on it, it gives it a material, clothing, very basic clothing, and groom. The hair groom will still come up, but this is a very basic MetaHuman. So even the cloth material will still load. It's still loading. That's why it's so shiny. Where you can see the hair groom is up. Now this is our basic MetaHuman preset. Okay, now I've reset it, so we're starting over again. So in body, let's click on body. The first thing you modify is the body. Now it has no grooms, no hair. So you start with the body. Was some blend mode. What is blend mode? Blend mode is these 3 slots. You can add 3 different preset MetaHumans to affect how your MetaHuman looks. So you can add the 3 of them, 3 different ones in each slot here. So let's pick 3. The first one, AOE. Let's pick another one that has a very different body. Bow. I'm looking for a skinny one. A skinny. I think my Lorenzo. Yes. So can you see these small circles here? They are called manipulators. They help you switch between the three slots. So let me show you how it is. So each part you drag this slot to, it it it, it takes on the properties of that MetaHuman. Can you see? So with each part you drag it to, it takes on properties corresponding to that part. You can do it for, and the manipulators are on different parts of the body. So each part that you go to, it will just automatically affect only that part. The manipulator will affect only that part. So I think you understand. So another thing you can do is you can just double click and it will take on, you can double click on any of this and it will take on the properties of that particular preset. So, and the next thing is to conform. Conform is when you can bring in a mesh from outside Unreal Engine, and it's either you do import DNA or from template, and it will affect how your MetaHuman looks. Model. So model, you use these sliders to create how your MetaHuman will look completely. You can see there are so many sliders. They affect different parts of MetaHuman, from masculine, how muscular it is. Let me go back a bit. So you can see how muscular it can be, the weight, the height, and different parts. The sliders control different aspects, just like a character creation screen in video games, if you like video games. So I think that's that. Let's just do something random. Okay, let me find a nice body that we'll use. Let's leave it. Yes, come on. Yeah, it's a good masculine looking body. Okay, so the next one is the head. So you can see it's also in blend mode here, and you can see the manipulators on the face. This exact same thing. Pick 3 MetaHumans to populate 1 slot each. Drag your manipulators to the corresponding slot that you want, and it will take on the properties. I can double click and it will take on the whole mesh, will take on the property of that preset. So which one should I use? Isaiah. I think okay. Yes. Okay. So that's for the blend. Now go to conform. Now to conform, it's just the same thing. You can either import a DNA, import from identity, or from a mesh template. So for the purposes of this video, I will not go into details on this, but in subsequent videos I will make time to do that. So we'll go to transform next. So transform is basic modeling. This, you can see the manipulator in transform is kind of different from the blend manipulator. So what do? You can just do some very basic modeling by clicking and dragging on the manipulators. You can see it. So you can see this one is the translate. Translate is movement. So that just move the body part, the exact body part that you clicked on. Okay, so you can do it for any parts. Now you can even remove symmetry, so you can do one part and it will not affect the other part. Can you see it? So, but I like to always leave symmetry on. I prefer having symmetrical characters, unless the design need. So next one is to rotate. So it's kind of telling just to rotate the parts that you click on, then resize or scale. Now when you're doing you can just scale each body part. Then when we come to sculpt, you can see there are a lot more manipulators in sculpt mode. So many more that you can further modify your character in detail more than in transform mode. So you can see, let's modify this character very much. You can stylize, you can modify it in a way that it will look stylized. So I think this nose is this nose is okay. You can see the lips. Now you can see it's symmetrical. When I'm dragging one part, it affects the other part, the corresponding part. You can go and turn off the symmetric manipulation just like in transform mode, and we can now control only one part without affecting the other polar part, polar opposite. So let's give him a bruised face, like he just fought in the MMA with Abraham with Adesoya. Now you have quickly created. Okay, you can also manipulate the teeth as well, but it's more of like in sliders. It's not that detailed. It's just a little bit of manipulation. So you can increase the length of the teeth, the spacing of the teeth. You can just look just like my own teeth. I think this should be for the overbite. No, this is not for the overbite. This to shift it to the left and right, the top side of the. Then this is the overbite to give him that overbite look. Okay, so the next one is materials. The first thing you notice is once you click on it, it automatically gives you a material. So let's remove this. I do not like it at all. It's very distracting. Well, you can see, but it comes with a basic underwear to maintain a little bit of decency. Okay, so you can change the textures on the body with this node. You can see 2. This one is more of a muscular one. 3. I don't know if you can see the subtle differences in the textures of the body. 4. I think this is for the old. No, this is not for the old person. I think 8 is for the old person. Yes, this for an old person. So there's only 8 body textures. Then this other one is for the face. You can change the texture of the face. Let's change the color. The first one is color. The first slider is color. So you can changes from the very light skinned person to a very dark skinned person. Okay, so let's go to the face texture. You can see how realistic the face looks, but it has so many. I think it's it has 152 face textures. all very unique. You can see from female, male, young, old, a lot of textures. So you know the kind of character you want to create, and you decide which texture that best suits the character you want to create. Okay, no, I don't want to use this now. So you see you can see how detailed the old skin, the old material is. So you can make it shiny, not shiny with this. So then this part is for the freckles. You can pick a freckle. Sorry, this you not see freckles well. Okay, yes. So you can see how in these tools you pick how much freckles you want on the face. So moving on. So in accents, we are trying to pick parts of the face that we can make darker, lighter, more shiny. So it's just manipulating parts of the face. Like here now, under the eyes, we can make it. Let's make him look tired. So I'll just exaggerate everything so you can see how the feature works. So can you see the variation in the eye, under the eye? So this one is when you have external texture, but we don't have an external texture now. So let's go to the hair. Okay. So let's pick hairstyle for okay. Which hairstyle? The first one, the hair group. You can see how many so many hairstyles. Okay, let's pick simple ones so they can load fast. So after the hairs, the head hair. Let me zoom in a bit. After the head hair, the next thing we go for is the eyebrow. So let's look for one eyebrow that's okay. So all you have to do is double click. Wait, I want to put it in a way you can see better. Yeah, double click and it will load up. Can you see the eyebrow? Then drag it down a bit. Eyelashes, the next one is for the eyelashes. We select one. Sorry. Let's go for a longer one so it will be more apparent. Okay, yes. You can see the long eyelashes. So we go for a mustache next. Okay, then the beard. So let me give him Khabib kind of beard. Yes. So you can see he looks stylized. You can make from 5.6 you can make a stylized MetaHuman. So let's go to the details. Now in this place we can change the colors of your groom. So all you have to do is the melanin, the higher the melanin, the darker the groom is. You can drag it back. The lower the melanin count, the lighter it is. So when you want to give a dye color, make sure your melanin is low. When it's dark, you cannot see the color. So let me just show you. Let's give him pink color. And we'll drag it up. You can't see it. Because you can't add any color to black and it will show. So let's go down. Let's see the eyebrow. Okay. So the same thing, you can just drag it up. You can see black. Closer to the face. Let's so you can see the can drag it down or drag it up. Then the next one, the eyelashes. The hair now. Okay. So you can see how easy it is to so you can even drag, when you drag up the whiteness, it gives you this salt and pepper hairstyle, like like an aging, when somebody's older you can just drag up the hair, the whiteness, it would give them white hair, more white hair. The lower it is, the less white hair the younger person looks. Then we have the ombre. Ombre feels like a gradient between the base to the top. You won't see the ombre very well here. Let me find a hairstyle that looks better. Yes, that has more hair, that will allow you to see how ombre works. So ombre is just basically a gradient between the real color of the hair and the color that you pick. Okay, I think this can show. Let's go down to the hair so we can do the ombre. Okay. So let's make the hair dark, then we add an ombre. Can you see it? So it creates a gradient between the tip of the hair and the base of the hair. So let's change. You can further adjust it by shifting these sliders and diffuse. So just play with it and know the kind of design you would like. Yeah. Okay. So the next one is highlights. Highlights creates hair colors. Just picks random hair colors by strands. So let's pick a nice cute color. Okay, pink here to match his beard. Then we can blend it. I am not really a hairdresser, but as a character designer, you need to know all this in case you're creating a stylish character or a flamboyant character. Okay. Okay. So we're done with hair. So we can give it a very simple. This is the only cloth here. This is the only cloth available here, so we can just give it to him. It's just a simple t-shirt and boxers and shorts. So we can also change the color in the same details panel. Let's give it a different color shorts, different color top. So you can see. So this is your basic MetaHuman character. In the next session, I'll show you how to create custom clothing, to bring in better custom clothing for your MetaHuman character. Okay, first of all, we'll save. Okay, so now in this session, we're going to learn how to prepare our mesh for export. So why are we exporting it? We're exporting it so we can use the mesh as a template to create the custom assets outside of Unreal Engine using other DCCs. Okay, so the first thing you do is go to your MetaHuman character tab, click on it, go to export combined skeletal mesh. Make sure it's in content, check the name and save. Now the next thing is the face. We are going to use the face to create our groom. So export face skeletal mesh, and it doesn't actually save. That's it. Now, okay, let's look at the mesh. Save, always save, and let's combine these two windows. Confirm that it's been exported. Okay, you can see them. The combined skeletal mesh and the face skeletal mesh, they are in content folder. Go back to this. Since you've seen them, you can now close this one. So before we export them, we have to make sure that their orientation is correct. What do I mean by orientation? That their rotation, scale, and position is zeroed out. So we'll drag out. Why is it not clicking? Wait. Okay, let's drag out this. Yes. Then we'll come to our outline, our details. We'll come to our details panel. So you can see I was one that dragged up this details panel. So come there, and in transform, we'll just click on this reset button. It will zero everything out to 0. So we'll make sure that everything is in 0 apart from scale. Then we'll come back to here, right click, go to asset action, export. We'll take it to the folder we want it and save. Then here, all we have to do is level of detail. We'll unclick it, and every other thing remains the same. Then we export, and that is that. So we do the same for the face. Let's go out to first. Yeah, delete this, then drag in the face. Same thing. Reset the transform and open up your content drawer. Right click, asset action, export, then save. So make sure level of detail is off, then export. Okay, so we are done. So we are done now. You've exported your all your meshes that you can use in your DCC outside of Unreal Engine. So in the next session, we'll bring in our cloth. So let's go over everything we learned in the previous session. What did we learn? We learned how to create what a MetaHuman is, how to create a basic MetaHuman, and how to prepare our meshes for export. In this session, we're going to learn how to import a custom outfit and how to create a resizable clothing asset. So welcome back. So now we're going to import our custom outfits. So the first thing you do is to create a new folder, because you have to be organized. We have to be very, very organized. So let's name it clothing. So double click to open it, add new folder, the materials. I like the materials, separating the materials from the meshes and the other files that we'll create. So we'll open this and drag in our custom outfit FBX. Okay, so this is very important. We'll import it as a static mesh. Do not import it as a skeletal mesh, import it as a static mesh. Click on static mesh, and that is the only thing that you will change. Import. If you import a skeletal mesh, it creates a whole lot of problems later down the line that I'll explain when we get to that part. So everything is imported. Let's drag in all our materials into the material slot, into the material folder, sorry. So we select, shift select, drag it into the material folder, move. So we skip the static mesh, select all these, drag it in, and click on move. Select, drag, move. Okay. Save selected. Okay. So it's not just the sneakers. Let's bring in the outfits. So it's the same thing. We'll select on the static mesh, change to static mesh, and import. Then we drag it. We drag in all the materials and textures. Be very mindful to not drag in your static mesh. So all we have left is the Nike static mesh and the outfit raw static mesh. These two, so we'll convert these two to skeletal meshes and work from there. So click on your outfit, convert, go to skeletal mesh, create new, use existing skeleton. Pick your MetaHuman based skeleton so that it will have the same skeleton as the MetaHuman that you created. So click on convert. It will create a skeletal mesh of your static mesh. Open it, double click to open it. So go to your skin tab and edit weights too. Click on edit weights. So go to weight transfer. What are we trying to do here? So source skeletal mesh. Okay. No. Open up your content folder. Go to content. Drag in that your combined skeletal mesh that you exported that in the previous session. So we're trying to transfer the weights from this to your outfit, so that when it deforms based on the weight, on the already set weight. So the next thing you do is click on transfer weights and accept. So now it has taken on the weight of your combined skeletal mesh. So you save, remember to save, very important, and close. So let's go back to clothing. Now the next thing we have to do is to create our clothing files. Now we'll start with the nodes. So you right click, come to the top here and search for cloth asset. This file will come up and you click on it. It's a physics file. Remember to rename. It's very important to keep your things organized. Change the name to outfit raw and so it also creates a data flow asset, but we will not need it for now. So 2 files. Open up your clothing asset file. Select every single node inside the file and delete. So you create a new node with right click and search for skeletal mesh import node. Right? Click on the skeletal mesh import node. Come to your node details and drag in the skeletal mesh that you created into that skeletal mesh import. Then you drag out this and create a new node. Let's name it cloth asset terminal. So we'll open up the cloth asset terminal node now, and that's all. So we're giving the skeletal mesh the properties of a cloth now. That's what the cloth asset file is for. So look at it, cloth asset file. So let's make our MetaHuman creator see it. How do we do that? We will right click, create a new file, outfit assets, outfit assets. So and we rename again to change it to a resizable outfit. So let's rename this to outfits. So don't click to open it up. We don't delete the nodes here. We just click on the first node. Come to your node details, variables. We'll add an element. Right, this plus here. Index will click on the drop down button. Source assets. This source asset, what do you think we'll do here? We'll go to our content drawer and drag in our cloth assets into the source assets, right? Then we'll go to source body parts. We'll go to our combined skeletal mesh that we did in the previous thing and drag it in. So we are telling Unreal Engine that this cloth asset is to be used on our MetaHuman. So our MetaHuman creator should be able to see it. That's why it's an outfit asset. That's why we're putting it inside outfit asset. So we can put it in a way that our MetaHuman creator can read it. So it takes a bit of time depending on how complex the cloth asset is. This ours is a bit, what I did was a bit too complex, but I didn't want the video to be too long, so I had to combine normally we usually separate the shirt and the trousers, but let's leave it like this. So remember, the first what we did first was the cloth asset, the second one is outfit. Okay, it is ready. Now save and let's save here too and close. So the next thing we will do, we now have our cloth and outfit asset and then our skeleton meshes. Now the next thing we'll do now is to create, we'll right click, go to MetaHuman, advanced, a MetaHuman wardrobe item. So wardrobe item WI underscore outfit. So we're trying to make it editable here. This allows it to be editable in the MetaHuman character creator. So we'll drag in our outfit asset here. Under principal assets, we'll drag in our outfit assets. Pipeline, we'll click on MetaHuman outfit pipeline. So we'll drop down pipeline, drop it down again. Under editor pipeline, we'll choose MetaHuman outfit editor. So now it can be edited in our MetaHuman creator. So you save and close. So let's repeat the same process for our Nike shoes. So convert to skeletal mesh. So because we've done it before, it's already here. The skeleton is already here. So now we have the Nike skeletal mesh. Open it up to transfer weights. This mouse. Let me just and press enter. Okay, so you can see our Nike sneakers. So we scan, edit weights, dragging our combined skeletal mesh into the source skeletal mesh. Then we click on transfer weights, so we can transfer from this mesh to, then accept, save everything, save this and close. Okay, go back to our clothing folder. Now we'll create our cloth assets. Just like before, we rename Nike. Delete all nodes. Then we right click, search for skeletal mesh import. Create this node, skeletal mesh import node. Drag in the skeletal mesh, the Nike sneaker skeletal mesh, into our skeletal mesh here. Then drag out this node to connect the node to our cloth assets terminal node. And we have done it. So remember to save and close. Content. And now we'll create our outfit assets. So right click, okay. Outfit assets. Rename just like before. Remember to select resizable outfit so that it can be resizable. Select the first node. Remember, we don't delete, we select the first node. Then go to node details, add an element, go to index, drag in our cloth assets into the source assets. Then the source body part, you remember. Combine. So we're repeating basically everything we did for the outfit row. So we'll just wait for it to come up. This just proves that always try to optimize your assets before you bring them into Unreal Engine. It's it will save you a ton of problems. Even if you reduce the face size a lot, you can always use textures, very nice textures, to hide how simple your poly count is. But that one is not just for game design. Okay, so it's up. Save everything. And I really should have optimized this thing. Okay, save and close. Then we create our MetaHuman. Advanced MetaHuman wardrobe item. Click on it. WI Nike _Nike. So we open it up. Drag in our so for the principal asset, we'll drag in outfit our outfit assets. Editor pipeline, MetaHuman outfit edit, and then we save and close. Okay, so let's go over what we learned in the last session. We learned how to import our custom outfit as static meshes into the Unreal Engine file. Then we learned how to create resizable clothing assets by turning the static mesh, converting the static mesh into a skeletal mesh, then doing a weight transfer from our combined skeletal mesh to our outfit skeletal mesh. Then we created a cloth asset, created an outfit asset, and then created a wardrobe item. In this session, we will learn how to import an Alembic groom file and give it the proper orientation. Then we'll learn how to set up our custom groom binding for our MetaHuman. Okay, now for this one, we will have to create enable a plugin. So we'll go to edit, plugins, search for Alembic groom importer. So we'll enable it. If not, we'll not be able to import our Alembic file as a groom. So we'll close it. Then we'll, just as we did for the other one, we'll create a new folder and name it groom. Open it up. Now we'll drag in our Alembic file into the Unreal Engine. So this is the correct orientation: -90, 00, and 18. Then for scale, -1. If you do not import it like this, it will give you problems. So make sure you use this orientation. And then import. Now you can see it. You can see our custom hairstyle. So let's open it up. Let's make it look a little bit more realistic before we go to online. So go to strands. We increase the hair. Wait, let me put it in a way I can see properly. Yeah. Hair root scale, we increase it to 1.5. Then hair tip scale, let's give it 0.5. So why is that? We're trying to make it look, you can see the tips, they look thinner than the root. Just a little bit more realistic. So we go to materials, create a material slot. Let's search for mi_hair. So it's for a material instance. We're assigning a material instance to the hair, to the groom. So let's, just to keep things simple, let's give it the name mi_hair. Okay, so we go back to strands. To the material section, we'll select material hair. So now we've assigned it. Okay, so now to give it a simulation, to make it move like real hair, we'll enable Niagara simulation. This takes so long, so I'll just skip, instead of having to wait for minutes, I'll just skip to the next when it's done. So it's a 98% I just want to show you how long it took to get here. It takes very, very long because maybe because of how dense the hair is. So always when you're plaiting your hair, the hair curves should not exceed 255. I actually made it over 1,000 here because it's dreads, and I was trying to make it look like 4C hair. You know how difficult getting black hair is, so I was trying to make it as realistic as possible. So although you can skip the simulation sometimes, but I just, for the purposes of this video, I need to show you how to do how to activate simulation for your hair particles. So I'll be your custom groom. So it's almost done. I don't know if you can hear how loud it's making my system go. It's like it's really struggling to do this. Okay, so it's done. Now just look at the sorry. Okay. Okay, let me save. Always save, because if you're not using a good system, it's prone to crashes. Okay, so you can see the hair dropped a bit. The dreads, it dropped. Let me change it. Let me turn it off and turn it back on so you can see how it drops. So you can see how everything is up and it drops. So that's why it gives it a realistic movement. So let's leave it back on. I'll take it off so I can be able to create everything I want to create without this thing hanging. So let's make sure everything is in place. Then close the hair shop. We open up this. So now we have to bind it to our face mesh. So let's go back to Groom, right click on it, create binding. So we want to do a skeleton mesh. Our target skeleton mesh will find it. Search person. Yeah, person exported face. Yes, that's the name of the face mesh we did. So it's now creating a bind. Okay, so we put target skeleton before, so let's put source the same thing as target. So person exported face. Okay, so we save and we close. So we'll just recap of what we've learned in the last session. We learned how to import an Alembic groom file properly with the right orientations into your into your Unreal Engine project file. Then we learned how to set up a custom groom binding for your MetaHuman. So that is all. So in this final chapter, we will learn how to apply your custom clothing to your MetaHuman and how to apply your custom groom to your MetaHuman. Okay, welcome back. So this is our MetaHuman. Let's apply our groom. So you go to hair, open your content drawer, go to groom. You take the groom binding, you drag the groom binding in. Now because I've tested it before, that's why it's that window came up. So now you have it. It automatically creates your wardrobe item. So you go to outfits, content drawer, clothing, your wardrobe item out, drag it in, and drag in the second wardrobe item for the Nike. Okay, now we have all our wardrobe items in our hair and clothes tab. So we double click, Okay, so you can see the sneakers. Then you double click on the next one. Now we have our hoodie. Okay, let's save. Then the hair, we double click. Now we have the hair. Okay, so you can see the hoodie is showing. You can see through the hoodie. So let's try, and it's because of the way the normal face is showing. So let's try and make it double-sided. To fix it, go to materials, find the hoodie material. I think it's top. Yes, open it up, go to, in the details, go to two-sided and activate it, right? Then apply, save and close. Go back to your MetaHuman creator, open it up, spicy hand. So now you can see it's no longer see-through. Okay, so let's see. Let's change the color of the groom. So it's blonde right now because of melanin. So we go to details and increase the melanin. Yes, I think this is okay. So let's give him an eyebrow. Let's complete our character now. Give him an eyebrow. So because of how heavy everything is, it's really slowing down the system. But you can still see. Give me a mustache. I want something not too heavy. Then a beard. Okay, so let's go back to details, make everything dark. The system will catch fire. So we'll increase everything. Okay, so we're done with our character. And that is the created customized character. Let's go back so you can see it well. You see, from that basic shirt and shorts, we now have a very stylized hoodie and joggers with very clean Nikes. Let's save. This is a small demo to show how we can resize the clothes. So let's hide the groom first. Then let's go to body model. Let's make him fat. So because of how dense the mesh is, that's why it's taking time. It's usually very fast, yeah. So you can see the cloth resized with the way I resized the body. It's not just static, it moves, it edits itself automatically. So let's make him tall. Nice. So you can see okay. So that is the essence of the video. You can create multiple characters with this one outfit. So welcome to the end of the video. Let's do a recap of everything we learned. So we learned how to create a MetaHuman. We learned how to create resizable custom outfits. And we learned how to create custom groom assets for our MetaHuman. Now the resizable custom outfits, you can use it in multiple characters. You can create one asset and use it for thousands of characters to fill up your cinematic universe or your video game. Then the groom asset, the thing about groom is the ones that, although the ones that Epic Games already created and put there is very okay, and they are very nice and very diverse, you can create your own to further make it more personalized. So now you know how to customize your MetaHuman with the external assets. I hope to see what you guys create, and if you create anything interesting, please tag me. My socials are on the screen. Have a nice day.